A different kind of dragon. In the distant future, a medieval system rises from the ruins of a technology that destroyed itself. Armored knights ride their horses across dunes of rust, battling for the honor of their queen. But the knights find more to menace them than mere swords and lances. A brave quest leads them face to face with the awesome power of a complex, lethal technology that has been erased from the face of the earth, but lives on underground. Harrison's writing is excellent. The characters and scenes are vividly evoked, and it is so much better than other novels in its field that I believe it will in time become a favorite classic among readers of science fantasy, according to Michael Moorcock. So ever since the blurring started, I've been watching and waiting for society to break down. But of course, it hasn't happened yet. Here in Stone's Way, life goes on almost as normal, although people certainly have changed. For example, I've mentioned in another video the continuing ed class at our community center, which promises training in the arts of the warrior and the mage. I mention that class today because a warrior has appeared among us. He doesn't seem to be from Stone's Way, but nobody's quite sure. Actually, nobody's gotten a very good look at him, so we can't really tell if he's one of ours or not. He rides his horse clattering down Broad Street, or sometimes Front Street, around dawn on many days, but not every day. He's cloaked. He sometimes rides breakneck, at least on the occasions when there are police positioned to try to stop him. But he sometimes also parades down the street brandishing his sword, calling out words in a language nobody can recognize, although it sounds suspiciously like Klingon, all gutturals and short staccato bursts. I took the trouble to wait on Broad Street the other morning on a hunch he might pass. I wasn't alone. There were 8 or 9 of us out in the gloom waiting for dawn. Just as dawn's light reached us, although the moon was still above, he was there. I don't know where he came from, but he was right there on the street suddenly, and he called out a phrase that seemed obvious in meaning, even if I couldn't understand his words. It seemed like he recognized someone, but he was yelling angrily. Then, before I could quite gather what was going on, he charged. He was bearing down on a group of 3 people just across the street from me. When I realized where he was going and what he was doing, I looked more closely at the group. It was then that I realized I had been standing across the street from, 3 hawk-headed monsters. I wasn't actually sure. They had curved beaks. One of them raised a handgun. It sounded like a .45. The hawk fired 2 shots into the chest of the rider, which blossomed black in the darkness almost immediately. The rider never finished his charge. He slumped and slid from the horse, landing with a sick thud on the pavement just short of the hawkmen, and at the feet of his horse, which had halted with a confused clatter. The hawkmen rushed forward then, speaking to each other in raven syllables, and while 2 of them dragged the body, another opened a manhole in the street where all 3 disappeared with the body. The horse simply cantered away, although I understand it's now in police custody. So now, here's the thing. When the hawkmen were dragging the body, I could very clearly see they were wearing masks. Latex hawk masks. Their beaks wobbled. So, of course, I don't think they really were hawkmen. But that's all I know, because they escaped. Everyone in town is shocked, of course. We haven't had a murder in Stone's Way since I don't know when. But then we're still not sure what to call this. The sewer where they escaped is a junction. The pipes leading away are too small for a group of 3 hawkmen dragging a body, which is to say, their escape was impossible. They must have used some sort of magic to effect their escape. So now we are holding our breaths, waiting for what comes next. And that's all I know.